Layoffs have once again hit a record high. This is not a repeat of the story from last month or 2 months ago. It's genuinely that bad that just about every month we're doing some version of this story. We have another record for job cuts. We are now beyond 1.1 million layoffs in the United States this year. This report is from the consulting firm Challenger, Gray and Christmas, an unusual name, I admit, but they specialize in layoff data. And in November, total layoffs were about 71,000. This is fewer than in October, but it does push the total number of layoffs for 2025 to 1.17 million. That's almost 1.2 million layoffs this year. This is 54% higher than if we look at the same 11-month period last year. So January to November 2024 compared to January to November 2025, 54% more layoffs this year during that 11-month period than last year. And this is the highest level of layoffs going all the way back to 2020. Now, we are still waiting for November unemployment rate info. That's going to be coming out on December 16th. But if we look there at the prediction markets, like, for example, on Kalshi, where the question is, people are betting on what do you expect the number to be? 73% right now expect the unemployment rate to be higher than 4.4%. And then 40% believe it will be higher than 4.5%. And that would be the highest unemployment rate in 4 years. So we have the jobs numbers. They're not good. We have the betting market expectations from Kalshi about where will the unemployment rate be. That could put it at the highest point in 4 years as well. Now, if you go back to 2020, we had a good explanation that was an external uncontrollable factor for why the numbers were no good in 2020, and it's the COVID pandemic. This time, that's not the case, and this is a major problem for the Trump administration, which wants to claim and does claim daily that this is the best economy anybody has heard of anywhere. Now, what are the reasons that companies are laying people off? Some of the reasons have to do with White House policy, and some do not. For example, one reason is AI innovation. And it's funny because in the earlier segment, we heard Kevin Hassett say, AI is going to be the solution to our economic woes because you can go and ask ChatGPT, how can I make my boss happier so that they'll give me more money? Well, AI innovation is actually one of the main reasons that is allowing companies to lay people off and to seek technological solutions rather than labor force solutions, for lack of a better term. That doesn't have to do with Donald Trump. Now, on the other hand, another reason for the record-setting layoffs in 2025 is tariffs. That is, it's crazy to say it, it's Trump's signature economic policy. It's outrageous that that's what it is. It's hilariously sad that that's what it is. But Trump's signature economic policy is just putting blanket tariffs on everybody. Another reason for layoffs is restructuring. Now, restructuring is a funny one because it's sometimes code for we know things are bad in our company, but we don't really want to make anybody feel too bad. So we say we are restructuring and finding efficiencies and synergies. And by the way, this comes with a hiring freeze as well. But so under the umbrella of restructuring is another explanation for the record-setting layoffs. Now, this is only one piece of the disastrous economic news this week, because we also learned earlier, I covered earlier this week, that instead of gaining 40,000 jobs in November, that was the expectation, the economy lost 32,000 jobs. That means that the real jobs number fell more than 70,000 jobs short of expectations. Now, let's apply this analysis to Donald Trump's economic policy. Trump's tariffs, we were told, were going to save American manufacturing jobs. Now, instead, they haven't. We have hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs open. People don't want them. We have the lowest level of manufacturing employment in the United States in something like 5 years. But what the tariffs have done is raise costs for American companies that rely on imports. If you import stuff for whatever your business is, you now have higher costs. You might have to fire workers to compensate for that. You might have to raise prices to compensate for that. The tariffs were a gimmick that has hurt the very workers that this administration says we are going to protect and we are going to champion, like a phoenix rising over the horizon. And the Trump plan for jobs is actually destroying jobs. Now, that's okay, cool criticism, David, but like what should actually be done? Well, it's very simple. If you look at, this is not wacky, extreme left stuff. This is not communism. It's not socialism. If we just do like basic left economics, that wing of thought, thinking of supply side and regulation and an environment in which people can be as productive as possible, we need a workers' bill of rights. The mass layoff crisis that we are seeing right now proves we knew it. Most Americans have zero job security. Unless you are already wealthy enough that it doesn't matter whether you make any more money, that's a very small portion of the population, or you have some kind of a guaranteed contract, which is increasingly rare. Most employees are now at-will employees. We would really benefit from stronger labor protections, stronger union protections, better severance laws. Some people are focused on a reduced work week. Let's do 30-hour work weeks or 4 days a week. I mean, that's more of a sociocultural question in a way. But we need a workers' bill of rights that actually is going to protect people. And then also, it should be considered, should we be taxing job cutters? If a corporation announces record layoffs and the CEO is getting a bonus, should there be a windfall profits tax? Should there be a penalty on stock buybacks or whatever? We need to disincentivize destroying jobs as a business strategy. And every single bit of economic data we get points in the very, very wrong direction. A pending Supreme Court case could strip our Fourth Amendment rights and allow immigration agents to come into our homes for any reason, no probable cause needed, all while Republicans try to twist things so that you think this is all great for America. This should be the biggest story in the US right now, but it's almost impossible to keep up with the millions of moves that Trump is making every single day. That's why Ground News exists. Ground News is an app and website that exposes the blind spots and spin before it takes control of our opinions. Ground News is the smarter, more reliable way to stay informed when MAGA is banking on us getting distracted. I'm partnering up with Ground News to give you 40% off the same Vantage plan that I use. So you'll pay only $5 a month for all of their premium features. Just go to ground.news/Pakman or use the code Pakman in the app when you sign up. The link is in the description or scan the QR code.